Howdy, howdy!
Hello!
And welcome to But It Was Aliens! The paranormal comedy podcast where we probe activity to decide for the questionable benefit of humanity whether that activity really was paranormal. My name is Mr. Kev in the John, and alongside me with no idea what we'll be covering today is Mr. Granville, Moonwalker.
Moonwalker.
Yes, that's your name. Today, we are covering...
Whoa.
I've wowed.
Before we start, a few weeks ago, I told you that shelf up there needed some room because there was something that was going to be put up there. Today, I have that something that's going to be put up there.
What are you going to stick up there?
And I'm going to get you to open it live on air.
At the start of the episode.
At the start of the episode. So, Mr. Greybeard, I have a gift for you.
It's in a Funko Pop box. Well, that might be the best thing I've ever bloody seen in my life. It's a Funko Pop of myself and Mr. Moonwalker dressed as MIBs. Mr. Moonwalker looks pretty much like he does, but in a suit. So I've got a massive grey beard. That's absolutely phenomenal. I didn't know you could make your own. Yeah, I'll be having to make space for that. Touche. That's absolutely glorious. Right, let's go home. Climaxed. Today, we are covering a case from Japan.
Before we start,
Again,
I would just like to point out, it wouldn't let me put Greybeard for some reason, and I don't understand why. So
maybe that's like a character from something. So it's copyrighted.
Oh, it could be. So yeah, I had to go with Kev in the grey.
I'm in the bush now.
Look at that glorious, omnipotent
That
beard.
is a big beard. Right, today we're covering a case from Japan.
And you've got a coffee.
I do. It's glorious, yeah.
It really is you.
Everything about me is spot on. It's never been opened. Alright, it's been a little while since we visited East Asia, and I don't think we've ever mentioned the fact that Japan is a country made up of more than 14,100 islands. Japan actually
Could you not have
discovered
said more than 14,000?
I'm me. No, I couldn't. Japan actually discovered that quite recently in 2023. Sweden, meanwhile, has the most islands on the planet with 267,570 islands.
Before we move on, was it a case of like they had 14,000 and like more than 14,090? So it was like between 90 and 99. And now that they've found like 3 or 4 more, they're like 14,100. You've got to make that statement, otherwise people don't realise the new ones are there.
Well, and they keep finding little new ones that pop up. But this has nothing to do with the probe.
Okay.
We begin today's probe in Japan 1918. Akichi Suzuki was a young family man, barely 17 years of age, and a boy who doted on his sister Kikuko, or Kikuko. We'll see which one I end up using. Akichi loved him that life under the sea and went to Sapporo to visit a marine exhibition on the 15th of August. Sapporo had a famous shopping street like London's Oxford Street called Tanuki Koji, so Akichi had to have a look whilst there. This would be the perfect opportunity to grab something special for his sister, Akichi thought. Akechi wasn't wrong. As he looked around the shops, it was almost as if something was calling to him. Closer, closer. Akechi headed into a shop, and there it was. It was perfect. Staring back at Akechi from the shelf, almost as if surrounded by an aura or halo, was a beautiful doll. This would be the perfect souvenir for Kikuko.
Dolls are never perfect.
Perfect.
Never.
Perfect. The
Dolls are never perfect. I suppose it's kind of that era where I wouldn't say dolls are new, but there's not much choice. And how old is his sister? She older than him, younger than him?
Younger.
But like younger that she's like 5 or 6 years old, or 15?
A little bit younger than that.
To about 10.
Give or take.
Okay. So yeah, you kind of would buy a doll or something at that age, wouldn't you?
Perfect. Perfect.
Yes, you were correct. Perfect.
Perfect. The doll was dressed in one of a few traditional Japanese kimono with shoulder-length hair cut straight. The doll was porcelain and had black beads for eyes. Beady little eyes. The doll face was absent of any hint of human emotion. Kikuko, upon seeing this doll, immediately fell under its spell. She loved it. Absolutely loved it. Kikuko played with the doll every single day and took the doll everywhere with her. Kikuko slept with the doll every night. The two even seemed to develop an uncanny resemblance to each other. It's said that Kimuko even named the doll after herself, Okiku.
Right. What I read and what I heard are two different things.
Right.
So Kikuku named the doll after herself, not Kimuku.
Yeah.
Okay. So is it one of those things like where Okiku stands for little Kikiku? Similar to how
Yeah, basically.
Ronaldinho is little Ronaldo.
Yeah.
That thing. Okay. We have an AI picture here of...
Why would you say that's AI?
Because the kid's face looks far too AI-ish.
That's a real photo.
That's not a real photo. That's AI.
It is not.
Artificial intelligence right there,
I'll have you know.
along with the doll. But yeah, they do look quite similar. Little bobbed hair.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. A little kid with a doll.
In January 2018, Kikuko got a cold. It was a bad cold. So bad, in fact, that sadly, the flu-like symptoms got worse and worse, and Kikuko passed away. As she passed, of course, her beloved doll was by her side, holding her hand. It is Japanese tradition for family members to place the belongings the deceased adored in a coffin when someone is cremated, but Kikuko's family did not do this for the doll. Okiku was instead displayed at an altar which the family prayed to every day. This would keep Kikuko's memory alive.
Now this is dangerous. So, as someone that has watched a lot of horror films throughout my life, this praying to the doll is either going to give the doll power and bring back Kikuko's soul into the doll, or give the doll a soul of its own. Therefore, they should have burned the doll in the coffin with her so that they could both rest in peace.
Yeah.
Or if there is a separate soul in that doll, it's furious that it didn't get to go with Kikiku, so it's going to exact its revenge and terror upon the world.
If anyone ever asks you or suggests to you to pray to a doll, do not do it.
Nope.
Bad idea. Never ends well.
Do you reckon you prayed to the little Kevin the John pop figure every night before you went to bed?
Wow.
You would imbue like a bit of yourself into that doll. You pass away and that little pot figure lives on.
I'm going to lick it so that my survivor saliva takes hold. It'll be a mini-me. You'll go to look out of your window before you go to bed at night, and in your driveway, it'll just be stood there looking at you, stroking its beard. As time went on, Akichi and Kikuko's parents begun to notice that something strange was going on. I'm just going to show you another photo of the doll, Mr. Moonwalker, to see if you can tell me what was strange.
Hold on. Looking at the photo before and of that one there.
Yep.
Both the facial features of the doll have changed, and this one has longer hair.
The family had noticed that Okiku's hair seemed to be a little different. They weren't certain, but they could have sworn Okiku's hair was originally shoulder length. It was now clearly past the shoulder. The family begun caring for the doll as if it was their daughter and begun calling it by their daughter's name at times. It was as if the family were becoming confused as to what the doll was. This continued for many years, nearly 20 in fact, before rumblings of tough times would begin, and we know today obviously that the Second World War was around the corner and Japan's new order aimed to dominate East Asia. In 1938, the Suzuki family left Hokkaido for Sakhalin, which is today Russia, but back then was Japan. Due to the move, the family left Okiku with the Manenji Temple in Iwamizawa, Hokkaido, Japan. The temple was happy to oversee Okiku.
This doll is now at a temple.
Yep.
Are the people in the temple treating the doll the same way that the family treated the doll? Or have they just kind of put it in a box or in a room and just left it to be?
We'll get into that momentarily, but they have not just put it in a box in a room.
I have a theory, but I think it's too early for said theory.
Or you can share it and we can come back to it later.
Okay. Is it possible that someone was messing with this family and what they did is swap the doll out for another one? Or accidentally broke the doll and was like, shit, we broke the doll, and then they get one that looks as close to it as possible and puts it back? Or someone was going around cleaning the not the temples, like the shrines and gravestones, and there was another doll somewhere else and they got the two mixed up and putting it back.
Okay. Interesting ideas. After the end of the Second World War, the family returned to the Manenji Temple in Iwamizawa. Upon seeing the doll, they were shocked to discover that the doll's hair had grown even longer still. The family became convinced that their daughter Kikuko's spirit was living inside the doll, who the monks at the temple had now named Okiku. The family asked the temple to keep the doll on display at an altar as a permanent memorial. The doll remains at the temple to this very day. I'm not putting it out there that the monks were happy to oversee this doll in the stereotypical Hollywood monk way of containing the potential evil, but the monk overseeing Okiku may or may not be bulletproof. Okiku does not like to be photographed. When photos are taken, they often come out badly or with unintended things in the photo, and so taking photos has been banned so as to not piss off the spirit. Tourists are able to visit Okiku at the temple just without photos. The monks care for Okiku and cut Okiku's hair on an annual basis.
I would like for them not to cut the hair on an annual basis. And I would like to see how long this hair grows. Because by cutting the hair on an annual basis, you can put the story out there that the hair grows and that you cut it back, and there'll always be an excuse for the hair being short. If you left it and then like, we're not going to cut the hair for 10 years, I would like to see that doll under surveillance 24 hours.
We're going to get into that.
Like 24
Bring in
hours
the
a
evidence
day,
today, son.
10 years. And I want to see that hair grow.
You want to see a grower.
Also, I can totally understand not wanting to be photographed. Like that noise.
Everything that I've told you so far is absolutely true. You can indeed visit Okiku at the temple. What I'm about to tell you is less well evidenced, but there are claims out there. It's been reported on in various media, but names and dates aren't known. But it's been reported, mainly in England, that the reason Kikoku's family did not take the doll Okiku with them when they moved is that the doll was cursed. You didn't see that coming, did you? Family friends would visit the Suzukis and complain that it felt, respectfully, like Okiku was staring at them. As they moved around the room, it was almost as if Okiku's head turned to follow them, yet nobody ever saw Okiku move. Those same family friends, those who had complained, would go home, and soon the nightmares would start. In their dreams, Okiku would be sat in front of them, looking at them. They'd be paralysed, and Okiku could do anything, but she'd just stare silently, waiting. Then they'd begin complaining of stomach cramps and flu-like symptoms. Soon they'd begin losing weight, and within weeks, several associates of the Suzukis passed away, almost as if something was feasting on their essence and they simply wasted away. The family gradually came to the realization that there should be no life after death, and whilst they believed that part of their daughter was in Okiku, it wasn't the Okiku they knew. They determined that a holy temple would keep the world safe from Okiku whilst also preserving Kikuko's spirit.
So we have this part of the story, but it comes from English media, not...
Well, that's the media I can read.
Touché. Do we have names and dates of the people that passed and proof that they were associates or friends of the Suzuki family?
Why do we need them?
You know exactly why we need them. To confirm that this is true and not bullshit. And they haven't just used the names of people that just happened to have died around that time.
I told you that everything we'd covered to that point was true.
So everything we covered after that point is bullshit.
Not bullshit. Just
bullshit.
Not as verified. Doesn't mean it didn't happen.
Do we have...
I just don't have photos of the friends and family and that kind of thing.
Do we have pictures of Okiku in the temple, fresh from a new barber's trim?
We're going to have a little bit more there.
Like...
She got a buzz cut.
9 months later.
We're going to cover that in a little bit more detail shortly. Possibly. We are.
Maybe.
Any other thoughts or questions before we continue?
No.
What is going on here? We have a few theories. The first theory is actual doll possession. In Japan, it is believed that dolls can indeed be possessed or inherit strong human emotions. Did Kikuko attach herself, tether herself, to the doll, scared that it wasn't her time to pass? It could even have been an accident of strong human emotions manifesting in the doll. Kikuko held Okiku's hand as she passed between worlds. Do we have a possessed doll? Another possibility is possession of a different variety, a demonic variety. Did something join Kikuko on her journey back from the afterlife? Or we don't know anything about where this doll had been prior to Akichi picking it up. Perhaps it was a container to keep something in and should never have passed into innocent hands. Maybe the monks recognised this. As it can't be studied, we don't know if it has any unusual markings, and on that note, why can't it be studied? Another possibility is hoax, but it's unlikely holy monks would fake this, so we'll leave that one there, won't we?
Do we have any interviews with the monks saying that this
Monks don't give interviews.
doll is real? Do we have any footage of the doll in the temple?
You're not allowed to take footage of it.
That's convenient.
It's a temple.
That's extremely convenient.
You can go and visit it if you want to visit it.
Maybe we should.
Maybe you can. Oh, wait outside.
There's a lot of convenience as to why we don't have evidence.
So we have people who have verified, and this is genuine, that the doll's hair is getting longer.
Yeah, but is it?
It is.
Or is it
Yeah,
just a different
genuinely,
doll?
you're going to have to accept that. Because it
not.
is. You are, and
I'm
once I
not.
go over the next section, you're going to.
But we'll see.
We will see. You want to go over the next section now? Let's see if you see, Mr. Moonwalker. How confident are you that you're not?
100%. Because you've told me that we can't have pictures of this doll. So therefore, if I see a picture of a doll with longer hair, it's not the doll.
I do have another picture coming up, but
Picture of the doll that we're not allowed to have pictures of.
in general, yeah,
So another doll.
permitted on special occasion. I'm going to convince you that the doll's hair is growing.
You can try.
Here I go then. A final theory is that the glue which had been used to fix Okiku's hair to the doll has gradually worn away and loosened over time. The way the hair works on these dolls is that a length of hair, say 20 centimetres, is prepared via a 40 centimetre strand and then folded in half over the skull, with that half glued to the scalp, making the hair length the planned 20 centimetres of dangly hair. As the glue loosens in patches, this could give the impression of hair growing naturally at different lengths as the hair gradually comes away from the scalp until such time that the hair completely comes away. The temple have requested no study is undertaken on Okiku, as I touched upon, and this is out of respect, so it is not possible to test this theory. Ha! The hair is growing, my friend.
So how long has this doll... So, theory of the glue.
Mm-hmm.
How long would the glue hold until it is completely worn away for the hair to stop growing and for that full 40 centimetres to be unleashed upon the world? Because remember, this was growing in, 1918 or something like that?
Yeah,
And
pre-Second World
the
War.
monks
yes.
have been trimming this hair year upon year upon year.
But if it's only been growing like half a centimetre or whatever it may be, even less than that.
So by today, how much hair is on this doll?
So,
Quick maps.
it's not bald to my awareness. And the glue itself might hold for a long, long while as yet, but it's just coming away gradually So it's not to say the hair will necessarily fall off completely, although it probably will one day. But it's coming away from...
And it's going to hit a point where it's not going to grow anymore.
Yeah, and then at that point it will start falling away completely. So what you're saying is you are now convinced that the hair is increasing in length.
It's increasing in length, but it's not growing.
Thank you. You are convinced. We mentioned that the Japanese temple has stated that they do give Okiku an annual haircut. And what is confusing is that the hair has not fallen out and does continue to grow. The hair stops growing at knee length and then, when cut, grows back to knee length before stopping again. The hair also doesn't seem to go past the eyes. Surely the hair would come away more if the glue theory is accurate.
I suppose if they put shorter strands in the front to create the fringe.
Good shout. A report is out there stating that during scientific analysis of some of the hair clippings, the hair was shown to be human rather than synthetic. It's also unusual that the doll is only touched once per year, yet the hair changes so much. You'd expect lots of handling to cause the glue to come loose this much, if that is indeed what is going on here. It doesn't quite add up. This case broke nationally when Hokkaido newspaper covered the story in 1970, though it had been covered by a paranormal enthusiast before then. Is Kikuko's actual hair growing through Okiku? Perhaps we'll never know.
So technically, the hair isn't growing.
Well, we don't know for definite because we can't study the doll itself.
It's not growing.
It's getting longer.
It's not getting longer. The hair is natural. The hair is one length. And it's therefore unraveling.
So it's getting longer.
It's not
from the scalp down.
It's not 20 centimetre hair that becomes 60 centimetre hair. It's always been 40 centimetre hair that is still 40 centimetre hair, just styled different.
Theoretically. And I gave you that as an example. I didn't say it actually was 40 centimetres. That could be hundreds of centimetres down there. Who knows? We can't study it.
Well, it's still not growing then.
It's a grower.
It's whatever length the hair is.
But we don't know this.
Unfold.
This is just a theory.
We know this.
We don't know this. Bzzz, cut the hair. Oh, it grows again. And it never grows past her eyes. You definitely didn't explain that away.
Definitely didn't.
Bzzz. Oh, it grew again. And why does it stop at the knees?
Because that's probably how long. By the time...
But then they cut it and it grows back to the knees, but it never goes past the knees.
Then I would say that's the time frame for the glue doing whatever it needs to do. They never leave it long enough, then it's almost like it has an annual fucking haircut on the same day every year. Therefore, they don't give it another
Enough time.
6 months for it to grow past.
All right, I'll let you have that one. In summary, we've covered the tale of a doting brother who brought a doll from Tanuki Koji for his sister Kikuko. Kikuko loved the doll and took it with her everywhere until tragically she passed away, doll in hand, at about 3 years of age. The family put the doll on an altar rather than the traditional putting the doll in the coffin for
She's about 10.
I didn't say an exact age, I said younger, to take to the afterlife.
I gave you an age ring.
And I said roughly, didn't I? As time passed, Kikuko's family began to notice that the doll's hair was growing. It is alleged that visitors to the family home also began wasting away and dying mysteriously. Allegedly.
Was there a famine around that time?
Was
there a plague? A shortage of fish?
Well, it's tough times. The family eventually moved and left the doll with a temple, possibly because the doll was a psychotic murderer. Years later, the family returned to find that the temple monks were cutting the doll's hair, now called Okiku, annually. The family left Okiku with the temple. You can visit this doll today and the haircuts continue. We theorised as to whether this was a case of possession, a hoax, or whether human hair was used on the doll and the glue is coming loose over time, making the hair look like it's growing. It's alleged that a scientific study suggests Okiku's hair is human rather than synthetic, though I couldn't find the original source. It's also unusual that the hair always stops at the knee, yet grows back to that length when cut and didn't grow past the eyes. But Mr. Moonwalker has probably solved that riddle, sadly. That is the probe. Woo!
Also, it's probably quite normal for them to use human hair in dolls back then rather than synthetic because it was easier to get hold of. Like you go in for a haircut. And
that didn't actually occur to me, but bang on, definitely. Human hair or animal hair, much easier to get hold of than...
And feels a lot softer than like synthetic plastic hair. So when the doll was left with the monks, were they not told that the doll's name was Okiku?
No.
And they just
the girl called the doll that, but they didn't call it that themselves. Then the monks started calling the doll that, I believe is the way it went.
So the monks had no idea whatsoever.
No idea that the girl might have referred to it as that.
And at 3 years of age.
Yes. She was 3 years of age. Are you saying that it was curses?
Am I fuck?
No. Oh, you're putting yourself at risk here.
No. She's not a curse. It's a doll being a doll. And people attaching a story to a doll.
Yeah.
It's quite possible that... I say it's quite possible. It's probably highly likely that they did leave the doll like at a shrine or something to remember the little girl by. But I think everything else has been put on top to make a story out of something. So yeah, they've somehow attached a story to a non-story to make a story.
Yeah. We've covered a few haunted or cursed dolls at this point, and I do absolutely love them. There's something so interesting about the backstory and the concept of something getting tethered to an inanimate object. But is my passion enough to make me say yes, like my 16-year-old self? Or do I think that this one was human hair coming loose from glue and a lack of reliable dated photographs along with a bit of exaggeration? Maybe even a bit of most of the photos out there not being of a Okiku? Do I dare risk the wrath of Okiku? Yes, I do. I'm not saying that it was curses. When I researched this one, when I heard there was a cursed doll growing hair, I saw the words cursed doll and I thought it was going to be going on a legitimate rampage. There was going to be like, kind of like what you said, dates, times, photos of the people who'd been murdered by this thing allegedly and whatnot, and there just wasn't really anything there other than the fact that it's a doll that grows hair.
Were you disappointed?
A little bit, but still, it's kind of cool, but not the most cursed of cursed dolls. If anything, it's just a hairy doll. In fact, yeah, there's no real element of curse at all in this, is there?
So
it's not. What sort of shitty curse is it to
if
just grow
I
hair?
Was to gift you a cursed doll,
yep,
would you take it?
Absolutely.
Cool.
I keep one in my car as it is. That's not a joke.
If things start happening in this house, it wasn't Mini Moonwalker.
To be fair, if the two of them, that beard is looking suspicious. That is a wrap for today. Thank you for listening to But It Was Aliens. If you want to avoid finding a cursed doll in your garbage, you can become a patron of the show over at patreon.com/But It Was Aliens. There, each month, we release bonus episodes we call Side Pros, and you can completely voluntarily gain access to these episodes for quite literally less than a cup of coffee, and I absolutely didn't just threaten anyone. You can share episode suggestions with us on the Twitter at But It Was Aliens, and there is definitely no cursed dolls monitoring our account. You could also say hello on Facebook, where connected to But It Was Aliens is a secretly public private group called Extraterrestrial Towers. Being a member of the Towers grants you protection from the aliens when they invade. It does sweet F all for cursed dolls that may or may not stab you directly in the arsehole, but the weather is lovely, so come along and visit. Also, the weather is pretty shit too. That is it for this episode, so until next time, if you shit in a church, is that holy shit? The truth is up there. Hashtag wow. Holy shit.
Would it only make it holy shit if it's blessed by holy water? Blessed by a monk, not monk. Bishop.
Imagine blessing a turd.